Hi, welcome to Pawpaw's Workshop. I've got an exciting video today. I'm reviving an old saw that's probably over 20 years old. This circular saw was my son's. He's had it for probably close to 20 years and's used it an awful lot. Well, it finally quit and he was ready to just throw it into the trash can. But he gave it to me to see what I could do, and all it needed was new brushes. So today I'm going to show you how to put new brushes in a very old saw and bring it back to life. So let's get started. Now this is the old circular saw that my son dropped off to me, and you can see the spider webs there. But what I want to do first is make sure that it's unplugged, and I've also removed the blade. Now I want to go ahead and open up this housing. Now I'm using a T20 star tip driver to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and open up this housing and be able to show you the brushes inside. Now this housing is held on with just 2 screws, and by removing those screws, the cover will just lift right off and it will expose the brushes inside. First thing I want to show you are these small little rubber pads. Be careful not to lose those because they actually put pressure down onto the brushes and keep the brushes in place. Now the brushes are mounted inside these 2 white housing, and to be able to get the brushes out, all you need to be able to do is just take a small screwdriver and lift straight up. And you can see they lift straight out. And if you look at this first one, you can see a lot of wear on the housing itself. And you can see even some scorch marks on it also. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this other brush housing. Just lift it straight up and it will slip out. There we go. Now you can see on this particular brush that only one little small section of it was even touching, and the rest of it was just burnt. These brushes are really worn out completely. And you can see the scoring and the burning on the housing itself. And if you look at that, I'll try to get this up close so that you can see it. That is just totally burnt, and the spring is shot. And the other interesting thing is that the brush itself just literally fell out. There's a little wire that's supposed to be attached to the brushes, and that wire had actually come loose. So just for the sake of wanting to be able to do it, I want to show this little brass fitting and how it comes out. Now it's not necessary to take this out, but I wanted to show you that wire that was supposed to be attached to the brush itself. And it should have been attached right inside that small little hole. And it's completely gone. So again, this saw had no chance of being able to work at all. Now this is a screenshot of the replacement brushes that you can find on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description below where you can order these brushes or any other brushes that you happen to need for your saws. More than likely you'll be able to find it on Amazon. I received the brushes in the mail, and it's time to go ahead and put these in. I'm going to get this up close in the camera so that you can see the new brushes. The spring is much stronger than the old one. So I'm going to go ahead now and open up this saw again. Of course, the first thing you want to do is make sure that the saw is unplugged. Even though it can't turn on, you still want to have it unplugged because you don't want to take the risk of getting shocked. And I've also removed the blade. Again, to remove the housing with the 2 screws, you're going to need the T20, which is the star bit. I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera or not. And I'm going to go ahead and just open up this end. Now these brushes were, I believe, $12.95 on Amazon. And I'll put a link in the description. Not that I think you're going to be rushing out and buying these for this particular saw, but it will give you a reference. Now, as far as these brushes, I want to be able to make sure that this brass pin actually goes right down in and on top of these pins that are in here. That little brass fitting actually slides right down onto this pin. And to be able to do that, we're going to slide the back side in first, pull that down, and get that aligned right on that brass pin. Then we can go ahead and push that down in place. Okay, now that I've got the first one slid in place, I'm just going to turn this around and repeat the process and do the same thing again. And again, what I'm going to do is put this back portion in first, compress the brush down, and just align it so that pin will just slip right on, and then it goes down into position. Just like that, the brush is in. And one of the very important things, you have these little rubber bushings. Make sure you don't lose those, because these little bushings, it's a soft rubber, and it actually holds pressure on the brushes so that they don't move. All right, let's go ahead and put this back on. There we go. We'll put the 2 screws in. Now it's important to note there is a right and wrong way. That is not fitting. So when I turn the saw over, I needed to turn this little housing over also. Now this saw cost around $69, $70, somewhere in that vicinity. And by putting in a $12.95, can save a lot of money. All right, that's all put back together. I'm gonna go ahead now and test this out. I really like having the convenience of the tool storage right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that blade right into position. We'll put the washer on it, and we'll tighten that up. All right, let's test this out and see if it's going to work. Now, it's been quite a while since this saw has had any power to it. Well, let's see if our $12 investment was worth it, and let's try it out. So from a saw that my son was literally getting ready to throw into the trash can and literally throw away the money that he had spent to purchase this, he now has, for a small investment of some new brushes, he has his saw back. I think that's well worth it. So there you go. In just a matter of a very few minutes, we was able to take this circular saw that was literally headed for the trash can. My son had used it for many years, and he had felt he had definitely had his money's worth out of it and was just going to toss it in the trash. Well, by taking a very small investment and taking the opportunity to change the brushes, was able to give new life to this saw. So for now, this will give many more years of good use for him in his shop. Now, many of you know that if you've been watching my videos for a while, I do a lot of the CNC work, and I've done several videos on changing the brushes in the router that goes to the CNC machine. Well, all the electrical tools have the same similar situation. They're not meant to last forever. Brushes do wear out. Chances are, and not in every case, but chances are, if you have a small electrical hand tool and it quits, it's probably going to be the brushes. So my suggestion would be take a look. And in this case, you saw earlier in this video, the brushes were totally shot. Thank you for watching my video today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you was able to learn a little something. So don't throw away that power tool that just quits automatically. Go ahead and check it out. Maybe you can save yourself some money. But if you liked the video today, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and that little bell next to it so that you'll be notified on the different videos that I upload, because the next one is going to be the beginning series on how to use the circular saw. And I'm going to show you some interesting capabilities as well. So again, thank you very much for watching my videos.